All men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights.
Life, liberty, and the
If liberty means anything at all, it means the right to tell people what they do not want to hear.
Make America great again.
The Big Mig.
All right, welcome back to the Big Mig Show. Here we host George Bounty. Lance is here. He's just on an important phone call, business call for us. But he is here. So I'm leaving him out so it doesn't look disturbing. But another day, another dollar. Today's what? Today is Wednesday. It is hump day. And Lance is laughing. I see him smiling back there. I'm looking at him backstage. He might be smiling at hump day. He might not be. I don't know. But glad you're all here. So listen, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, to like, to follow, to share, and subscribe for $5 a month. We got to get our subscribers up. Every little bit helps. We appreciate all you could do. But let me just give a shout out to one of our sponsors, Genesis Gold Group. Check it out. 62.2 gram prepper bars. They're perforated, easily broken down to your choice of 3 different denominations, fit of multiple needs. Whether it be for asset protection, from inflation, economic turmoil, or its unique utility, barter and trade, these prepper bars make a perfect gift for all the precious metal lovers out there. They're exclusively mined and minted in the great USA. They're selling out fast, and it's very important because there's a lot of counterfeits coming out of China and other places. So you got to be careful. They're available in both gold and silver. They're slim prepper bars. Check it out. I got it in a case right now, protective case. They fit neatly in your wallet, and their utility enables use in any situation. All you got to do is go to genesisgoldgroup.com. Once again, that's genesisgoldgroup.com. You can tell them the Big Mig Show sent you, or you can call them up at 888-526-7154. 888-526-7154. All right. Oh, damn, look at that. Ultra Mac Girl's awake. She must have been working, or maybe it's her day off. Good morning, everybody. Let me see. Is Lance coming on? Lance, you coming on? Shake your head. Yes, no, thumbs up. No, he's still talking. The hell with him. You know, before we get into this, talking about National Emergency Act, there is a way. There is a way, family, because we need to do this. We need to figure something out because we have issues. And we're going to be getting to a lot of these issues. Oh, is that you, Lance? Hold on.
I'm in the saddle. Apologize for that.
All right, I'm bringing you back. All right, he's back. Look at him. Back.
All right. Sorry for that. Had an important call I had to take.
That's all right. I already told him. Don't worry about it.
All right.
Good,
well, good
man.
morning. Boom. We're here. We're doing it. Go ahead, George. I'm going to follow your lead, brother.
I was just talking about, there is a way and there has to be a way. I'll just put the thing back up real quick. The National Emergency Act. Where there's a will, there is a way, people, and there is a lot of will right now because a lot of shit's been going on.
Well, this is the way. It's the only option. It's the nuclear option, but it's it. And I told George something yesterday. We had a discussion about it, and we kind of came to the same conclusion. You guys can see there's an upward trend of information coming out on election fraud, domestic and international, right? And if you understand the Emergency Powers Act, Wartime President, if you understand the National Emergency Act, the NEA, then you understand what they're doing. I believe they're telegraphing. I'm going to go out on a limb. We're not going to see any deep state arrests. The Florida case isn't going to all of a sudden move at rapid pace and it's going to fix everything. We're not going to see them arresting Obama or Hillary Clinton or the dirty 51+8 or the Russian collusion hoax, other participants, or the J6's people that, you're not going to see them arrest a bunch of FBI agents or any of the intel agencies, the CIA, the DIA, the NSA. We're not going to see those, even those people all participated. We're not going to see that now. And I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think Todd Blanche is going to change that. I don't think Kash Patel is going to change that. I believe that this is the game plan, and I'm going to lay it out for you. This is important, so listen closely. George and I discussed, and we can already see the pattern. And, you know, we're on the internet all day long, right? Because part of the job, we have to look for stories. We're trying to vet stories. We're trying to look for new material. We're trying to even, you know, we're educating ourselves because sometimes we don't know everything about Washington, D.C. I'm not an expert like Roger Stone. You know, George and I haven't been this politically weaponized our entire lives like somebody that's been in the political game. It only happened over the last 10 years to the two of us. What I'm telling you is you start watching the pattern. You're going to see more stories like this story we're going to cover right now, and they're going to start trickling them out. And I believe it's going to go like this leading up to the midterm. It's going to ramp up. You're going to see one, and then you're going to see this, and you're going to see that, and there's going to be another one, and another one, and another one, and another one, and they're all going to be fact-based, like this story is this morning, this census story. This is the U.S. Census that came out with this information, and I believe they're going to ramp up, and they're going to make, you know, everybody get vapid. Everybody's going to start to get more and more agitated about the amount of election fraud. What are we going to do? And it's going to be the midterms are coming, and we don't think this is fixable. And, you know, we don't have paper ballots, and we still have the machines. And I think they're leading and they're laying the groundwork for the NEA, the National Emergency Act, because we do have foreign and domestic interference. We do have crimes. We do have a system that clearly can't be trusted. Now, this Census Bureau story is just one example.
Hey,
so
Lance,
they confirmed. I'm sorry. Go ahead, George.
Because you weren't in the beginning, kind of threw me off. We got to do something real quick.
Okay.
It's our mod, Sherry Gilbert 09. It's her birthday today.
Oh, Sherry, happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Sherry.
Oh, you screwed it all up.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Sherry.
I shortened it.
Yeah, you can't do that on a fly. You know, you either go with the flow or...
Well, I didn't know. You threw this. It was a left field curve.
But you know how to sing happy birthday. You just fucked it all up, bro. For our mind,
Sherry,
man.
But thank you so very much, Sherry, for all the hard work you do. And happy birthday. I won't ask your age because a man's not supposed to ask a woman's age. We won't do that.
I did it in our private chat, and the other mod said, you're not supposed to ask her age. I know that, but it's in the chat, though.
Well, anyway, I hope you're enjoying your birthday. I hope you have great birthday plans with you and your family. Yeah, so the Trump says the Census Bureau analysis just confirmed over 24,000 non-citizens voted in the 2020 election. Now, you understand, these are the people that reported to the census. This isn't something that, proves that it was only 24,000. This just proves that in the U.S. Census, which I hate those censuses, by the way, a lot of people don't even want to fill them out. 24,000 non-citizens voted in the 2020 election. Now, they still haven't analyzed 32 million additional records. So in the 32 million, there could be another 10, 20, 15,000. I don't know. It could only be 5,000, 6,000, but it's still a giant number. Now, that's a bombshell. That just got dropped. So they started cross-checking this 2020 voter records against citizenship data. And this is pretty devastating when you think about the stolen election, corrupt, election system narrative, right? Corporate media spent years gaslighting us, right? As did the deep state. But on the first 128 million voters, the Census Bureau proved that over 24,000 non-citizens voted illegally. Now, based on those numbers, since there's 20,000 more to be counted, right? There's this big number to still be counted. There's 32 million records to still be counted. That's about, about 1/4 of this. So you could assume that if you divide by 4, there's about another 6,000 non-citizen voters that they might find in this next group. So the Save America Act would be the solution for some of this. But is anybody out there confident that this Congress, House, and Senate is going to pass it? George, I don't think the Save Act's got any chance whatsoever of passing.
It doesn't matter whether forget about it. It's over for this year. Even if they pass the Save Act when they come back, there's not enough time to implement it into this year's elections. It's just not. It's over. So you have to look at, if the Republicans do hold the House and Senate, then, think about doing it again, get a different Senate leader, vote somebody else in, get rid of his stupid ass. But right now, I mean, it's irrelevant because they blew that. We can't even get the SAVE Act passed. So, I mean, who the hell knows? It's done and over with. It's crazy the amount of numbers. I mean, what do you have? This other chart here. It's you said they even go through all the totals. They only went through what, like 100 million or something so far.
They went through 120. Let's see, it's 120 million, I believe, 128 million.
128 million.
128 million. You've got this number of 24,000 non-citizens who voted in this election, and then you've got another 32 million to be counted. Using the same numbers, that would be about 6,000 more non-citizen voters if the numbers held true on the next batch.
You know what?
It looks like the number could be as high as 30. You're looking at a number as high as 30,000 non-citizen voters.
What's crazy is you look at like the majority's from Mexico, but then you got Canada, Philippines, Jamaica, UK, Germany, UK. I'm surprised they're coming from some of those countries. I mean, really? That many people in the UK are voting on our elections? Canada too? Like, come on. Are we voting in Canadian elections? Anybody any voting in Canada elections? Maybe we should start.
I haven't recently voted in any Canadian elections. Have you?
No.
I haven't done that.
I mean, this is just retarded. It's crazy. It shouldn't be happening. They say, oh, there's no non-citizens voting. They said that, and look what happened in New Jersey. Oh, okay, well, that was a mistake. Yeah, but this is all a mistake? How many other mistakes are there?
But how many times have we said this? This is what they want, right?
But we don't need voter integrity. What? You said, Lance?
I said, this is what they want.
Yeah.
Right?
They suck. I'm so like...
I mean, that's what the illegal immigrant invasion was all about.
I don't know. Was it? Because if you look at the numbers, what we're just saying, okay, 3,800 from Mexico, but how many illegal invaders were coming over the southern border from Germany, UK? All right, Haitian.
We did it on our show. We know there was people that invaded the border from over 140 countries at last count. I mean, Ben Berkwam, Ann Vandersteel, they all talked about it.
But okay, so my point is, they don't need to just because they open the borders, they're getting elections. They're doing it other ways too. How they're doing it.
Well, 100%. But you have to admit that having a massive, because remember, these are the ones we know voted, how this got done. We don't know how many other people were submitted for voting. They haven't scanned the entire system, because if Jose Rodriguez comes into the country illegally and then they move him around the country and nobody knows where he's at, how do we know the Democrats didn't just cast that vote since they had his information? That they didn't just use him to cast votes in California, in county, state, and federal elections? I think, it's this system. If there was ever a need for the National Emergency Act, this is it. Because we're a third world country right now. You can't trust this voting.
You want to know something? I think this. So I'm just going to look at the Mexico number, 3,800, right? How many illegals are there in California?
Oh, who knows?
That are from like Mexico, Honduras, and all that. I bet you that number's going to jump up on that side when they get a hold of California data. I don't. I mean, I'm like speechless right now. I'm like so disgusted and mad. But we don't need to save that. It's not going to do anything. John Thune.
Well, the thing about this Census Bureau count is that they've proven without a doubt, these are not clerical errors. They're not mistaken registrations. These were non-citizen statuses that were determined and accurate, with a complete absence of any proof of citizenship, combined with this affirmative federal records proving the individual was a non-citizen. So that means no U.S. birth record, no record of becoming a U.S. citizen, no U.S. passport, no government citizenship record, no other proof of citizenship. It was a green card non-citizen record, or a visa issued to a non-citizen, or a foreign student non-citizen record, right? A DACA non-citizen approval, an enforcement non-citizen record. It could be a non-citizen code held by the agency for that name or a taxpayer ID issued to a non-citizen. So let's get down to the bottom line. Zero evidence of citizenship, plus multiple federal records confirming non-citizen status, which equals an illegal, which they've also tracked right to the fact that they voted in the 2020 election, which means all those states that allowed them to vote, with the exception, I think, of California, and I don't know who else, very few, that would mean they voted illegally and those counties allowed it to happen. Now, it's pretty crazy. And it's pretty interesting, the top 10 that voted. It'd be interesting to know, George, did they all vote Democrat? Or did they vote for both?
That's a great question. I'm gonna go. The majority voted Democrat. There's gonna be some that voted Republican. It doesn't matter who they voted for. What matters is they shouldn't be voting. That's what matters. Plain and simple. And we're gonna get to. There's more stuff on this voting. It's like I did like a little timeline. So what do we do to protect ourselves for the midterms? Because the SAVE Act, forget about it. Whether they pass it or not, when we come back, it's irrelevant. So now you have the DOJ. They're preparing to flood the polling places all across America with around 1,000 federal monitors for the midterms. This has come from Assistant Attorney General Harmeet Dillon, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now, okay, you're going to send these monitors. Here's the question. They're asking people from the DOJ to volunteer. They'll get paid, don't get me wrong, but to volunteer to do this. Well, how can we trust all these people? Because we know there's a lot of biased people in the DOJ all across everywhere.
Yeah.
I
That's
mean,
the assumption that the people in the DOJ can be trusted, and I would say they absolutely
right.
cannot
I
be
don't.
trusted.
I mean, shit. Are we gonna vet these DOJ people before you let them do that?
Yeah.
She's saying the monitors are gonna observe whether elections are conducted fairly. They're gonna look at acts, barriers, places, language, a bunch of stuff. They're gonna act like a monitor, just like regular monitors are. Okay. And then what? And then pretty much they'll just be able to report on something. But even if there's something nefarious, look how long it takes to get into the court system and actually be heard and actually get something done. What they need, I think, if they're going to do something like this, they need a separate court right now just for election stuff to handle that, and so it doesn't take forever. We need a decision within a month.
Yeah, but that's also assuming you can find, an unbiased judge. I mean, we've had a major problem with the judges when it comes to bias, politically motivated rulings. We just discussed this yesterday. I don't. This is why you said this to me yesterday, and you remember my response. I said this is a waste of time. So 1,000 federal monitors aren't going to do anything because let's just say it's 50-50. Let's say 50 of them are true Americans and they can be trusted to do the right thing. 50%.
So listen,
let's say the other 50% are a bunch of low-life DOJ scumbags, like we know are in the DOJ. We know there's plenty of scumbags in the Department of Justice. 50-50. So that means half of the information you're going to get from the monitors will be a crock of shit. I think this is a complete waste of time. I just don't think this will do anything. I don't think there's any option at this point. I'm not counting on the cavalry. I'm not counting on the FBI, the Department of Justice, or the judiciary to fix our voting system before this election. The only way to do it is to stop the election. This is it. Let's play this clip.
Wait, hold on. So Ultra Mad Girl, yeah, great. Sign up to be a poll watcher. She did it, and you should, if you can, poll watcher challenger. But I'm going to say, so I've signed up. I went online through the county website and stuff to sign up to be a poll watcher. Never get nothing back. Never hear back from them. I went to our county RNC where they have their meetings and stuff, and I met people that were running. I says, put me as a challenger. I says, in the hardest district. I says, where you guys have problems, because I'm not going to let those liberals get over on me. Okay, nothing. Nothing. I mean, I offer. What else can I do?
Yeah.
But if you can, get involved. I'm still trying. Imagine me putting me in a challenger place with a bunch of liberals and they try pulling some shit. Feel sorry for them motherfuckers.
We began our election security work almost as soon as I was sworn in last April. This is an ongoing duty and obligation. And by the way, it is no different than in Democrat administrations. In and out since the 1957, the United States Department of Justice Civil Rights Division has sent monitors to election hotspots, polling places, to increase voter confidence, to troubleshoot problems. And we are doing that now. We just did it in the primary. We're going to do it to the tune of approximately 1,000 election monitors in the November election. And this is just something that DOJ does.
Where
Nothing different about it. Well, we are still formulating our final list, but you know, the places where there may be language issues, the places where there may have been access of disability rights issues, places where there may be voter fraud issues that we've seen. We've had some prosecutions. I think you've seen some of those. There'll be some prosecutions in the pipeline of people who voted illegally, who should not have. And we see a problem, frankly, with some election officials refusing to clean up their voter rolls and knowingly allowing non-citizens, for example, to stay on the voter rolls. This is a federal crime.
It is. But
Don't see anybody getting arrested, though.
You know,
No
small numbers
No
here and
deep state
there.
arrests.
Nothing of
Deep state
significance.
arrests.
Nothing of significance. But, you know, granted, okay, that's good. But I want to know about all these mail-in ballots when you get these ballot dumps and stuff. Like, who's going to be monitoring that and making sure that those people are legit voters? I mean, I haven't heard anything on the case now with the post office now, if they're going to be able to still follow through with Trump's executive order because they're trying to stop it and stuff. But here's another example. Barry County Sheriff Darleaf. You all know Sheriff Darleaf. He's the one that said he had emails and stuff that Serbia was involved in our election hacking and stuff. Yada, yada, yada. FBI tried going after him and stuff. The state of Michigan tried going after him. Well, he just came out with a statement saying he's got a confidential informant who actually works for the Michigan Secretary of State's office and came to him with evidence that the state's customer and automotive record system is programmed to automatically register non-citizens to vote when they change their address. To go further, it says the system even congratulates them and notifies them that they are now registered. Say what? We need to verify this. If it's true, it's crazy. But it doesn't put it past me because New Jersey, that was the same thing with New Jersey. Even though the governor said, oh, no, it was just an error. But the people said, no, it's not an error. They're doing that at DMV. So how do we stop it? Who's going to stop it? It's against the law. They even had the Secretary of State, what's her name? Jocelyn, whatever her name is. She's telling election
Joycelyn Benson
county officials to not do something, but what she's trying to tell them to do is against like federal or state law. So now they're stuck in a rock and a hard place. Well, you need to follow the law. Don't because she's Secretary of State doesn't mean she can circumvent the law. Let me play the clip.
It's a beautiful Tuesday morning here in Berry County, Michigan. I'm Sheriff Darleaf. An employee of the Michigan Secretary of State's office reported to me that non-citizens are automatically registered to vote when they change their address. The confidential informant provided evidence that the customer and automotive record system is programmed to congratulate and inform non-citizens that they are registered to vote. When the confidential informant provided proof to her supervisor that non-citizens are automatically registered to vote, the supervisor stated that the county clerk would identify the non-citizenship status. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, this is not true. The county clerk is given access to the qualified voter roll after the Secretary of State registers a person to vote. The qualified voter roll does not designate a citizenship status. Once a person is registered to vote, they have the ability to receive a mail-in ballot or vote at the poll with their ID card. The polls do not verify citizenship status. My office has referred this matter for investigation to the United States Department of Justice of conspiracy to violate 18 U.S.C. 611 and place non-citizens on the qualified voter roll and in the jury pool. Additionally, I am asking the Michigan legislature to use its resources to remedy the illegal voter registration and placement in the jury pool immediately. My office encourages witnesses with additional evidence of non-citizens receiving automatic voter registration to report this evidence to my office or to your local sheriff. You know this is wrong. It's time to act. Have a good day.
You know what's wrong? It's time to act. I mean, isn't he a sheriff? Can't he do anything? It's the old question that we had with we're talking about constitutional sheriffs. I believe he's a constitutional sheriff too, but regardless, isn't it sheriff? Can he do anything, or is it because the prosecutors don't want to follow up and do something? But who does he go to? Who does he go to arrest? The fucking person that runs the DMV, the governor, who's in charge of the motor vehicles, really, all essence? Yeah, I would say, go arrest the governor. Do it. I triple dog dare you. Sheriffs do have a lot of power, but they're unwilling to use that power. Unless it's like a power grab for themselves. That's a problem. But you don't think we have a problem with voting systems? And, they always say, people, liberals always, cry wolf and say we're conspiracy theorists. Well, we go after both sides, and here's a fucking prime example. This happened yesterday in Florida. Look the one on the left. Can you all read that, or you need me to read it for you? Because I will. I'm going to read it for you anyway. Dan Blitzerin has a vote count of 8191. I don't know how much time goes afterwards, maybe half hour, an hour. You can see on the other one, it's already declared the winner, Randy Fine. But look at his vote total, 6383. Let's do basic math, Lance. What's 1 plus 1?
2.
Good. What's 5 plus 5?
10.
Are you sure? Are you sure 5 plus 5 ain't like 4?
No, I'm pretty sure.
All right. I thought so too. I don't know. Liberals will say math is racist. How do you go down in votes? If you counted votes and it has a total of whatever, 10,000, and all of a sudden an hour later or 20 minutes later it goes down to 4,000, 5,000, that's impossible. When you tally votes, you count them. They go up in number. They don't go down. So what's the deal?
And for anybody that doesn't know, Dan Blitzerian, pretty well-known guy on Instagram. He's got a massive account. He's a big guy in the poker world, comes from a very wealthy family. And the guy is definitely confrontational. He's been out there saying lots of stuff. You've seen him on podcast shows. He's a pretty upfront guy. I don't know him. I know somebody that knows him very well, Phil Ivey, who's a friend of mine. He knows him very well. But yeah, if I were him, I would want an investigation because I don't see how your vote totals go down as they're still counting an hour later by thousands.
And believe me, he is aware of it because he posted on his X account about this too.
Yeah.
But let's look at Florida. So that was in Florida yesterday. So we know it happens everywhere. But I just want to go over some Florida stuff. So you remember Rep. Corey Mills? He lost his primary. Mm-hmm. Rep. Corey Mills is the same mofo who was a deciding vote to protect Ilhan Omar from being stripped of her committees.
Yeah.
And he voted to protect her. Well, Ryan Elijah just won the primary. So Rep. Corey Mills, that's what happens. You get out. Remember the former Democrat Congresswoman Sheila Serfilis McCormick, who is under investigation with her brother for misusing COVID funds and stealing them and stuff? Well, she resigned. Right? This was like $5 million in COVID funds or FEMA funds. Well, this bitch went, I don't know if it's because the districts changed. She went to go try to run again. Now you have Debbie Wasserman Schultz, who was actually, because the district redistricting, she was out district shopping. And I wonder, I mean, how much time do they have to say they lived in that district in order before they can run? I don't know whether she moved or whatever.
Either.
This is a predominantly black district. Sherry McCormick is a black woman. Debbie Wasserman Schultz is a white woman. But Schultz won. Which, that's his primary, though. We'll see what happens in the general election when she goes against a Republican. But in Florida, most of the Democrat socialist candidates lost, except for one. Socialist Angie Nixon. She won her primary against none other than Alex Vindman. You remember Alex Vindman, who's all about the Russia hoax and getting after Trump? But get this. Nixon raised $975,000 for this primary. She spent $710,000. So she got what, like 200 and something change left over, which she could use for her election, her general election. Vindman raised $16.2 million. He spent $9 million and has 7.2 left. And he still lost. Go figure. Maybe he should have spent all the money. You know, I was looking like, what happens with that money, right? You know, leftover donations, if the person lost, must be returned within 60 days to the people who donated if a candidate loses. Did you know that?
I did not.
Yeah, I looked it up. I looked up the, yeah.
How do you determine who gets the refund?
What do you mean, how do you determine?
Well,
Anybody that donates money, you have to put your name and stuff, all that stuff.
No, but listen to me. If you have 10 people that donated and you used 5 of those people's money, right? How do you know? Do you only the people, how do you determine whose money you used and who you didn't use?
I didn't get into it. I didn't look that deep. That's good. That's a great
question.
question.
I always wondered how they redistribute the money. And to be honest with you, have you ever heard of anybody ever getting a donation back? I mean, not that I've asked, but I've never really heard anybody talking about that.
I never really asked or heard anybody talking about it, so I don't know.
Interesting. All right. Well,
that's a good question.
We're going to take a short break here on the Big News Show. Yeah, of course. Got to take a short. We'll be right back. When we come back, we'll be talking about the discovery of a few tons of nuclear fissionable material at a secret Syrian site. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with George Valentine, Lance Miliaccio. We're bringing the rain and the pain, depending on what side of the argument or what side of the narrative you're sitting on.
Yep, we're bringing it on this hump day. There you go.
What if you could predict your financial future? And what if you could trade on it? Introducing Block Trust IRA, the future in your hands. An astonishing 88,000 millionaires were created last year from the Bitcoin boom, and you could be next. Block Trust IRA is the only crypto management firm powered by AI-driven strategies, ranked #1 in the world by Bitcoin Magazine. The Block Trust IRA platform is built for everyone, from first-time buyers to seasoned investors. Predictive AI technology that was once only reserved for insiders and elites is now available to you. It's time to leave the old buy and hold strategies behind. Your assets are protected with military-grade security, offline cold storage, and $200 million in insurance. Visit BlockTrustIRA.com to book your free consultation and ask how to claim up to $2,500 in deposit bonuses today. Bitcoin changed the game. AI changes the strategy.
In a world of uncertainty, be prepared with Silver Prepper Bars, your ultimate hedge against political instability and economic turmoil. Introducing the Silver Prepper Bar, crafted from 0.999 pure silver and proudly made in the USA. This tangible, divisible asset can come in handy even in the toughest of times. Portable, perforated, and easily tradable, the Silver Prepper Bar is your lifeline in times of crisis. When facing inflation, currency devaluation, and financial meltdown, Silver Prepper Bars provide peace of mind. Don't wait for disaster to strike. Secure your future today with the exclusive Silver Prepper Bar, the only silver bar on the market divisible into 3 different size pieces for maximum utility, all while fitting in your wallet. Don't leave your future to chance. Order your Silver Prepper Bars now at prepperbar.com. Silver Prepper Bars, ready for whatever tomorrow brings. Order now.
Forged through rigorous training and honed by the finest instructors on earth, these canine units serve beside our nation's warriors as they fight to preserve what we cherish. When these warriors complete their duty, the Warrior Dog Foundation provides them with a home deserving of the service they've given us all. At our state-of-the-art kennels, they receive rehabilitation and care suitable for heroes, because that's what they are. Be a part of giving them a future today. Visit warriordogfoundation.org.
Yeah, I am.
All right, welcome back to the big show. Here we your host, Lance Rigliaccio. Yours truly, George Bounty, will give an maximum effort on this hump day. Yeah. Yes, sir. Anyways, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. Come on. See a bunch of people in the chat, bunch of people watching. Hit the thumbs up button, the like button. Follow the show and hit the subscribe button. We need subscribers. Come on. Hit that button. And if you're watching or listening, you never come in the chat, and I'll give you a shout out. I see, what is it? TSM Money. I don't think I ever seen you before, but what's up, TSM Money? Pleasure to see you in the chat. Who's another one? Oh, C Dully 2. What's up, C Dully 2? Well, we're glad to have you here. Hope I said that right. C Dully 2. I'm looking close to see the thing on the screen. Anyway, we need subscribers, followers. I need you guys to share this. Definitely hit the like button too. Thumbs up button. Hi, Lance. How did we get nuclear material? How did Syria get this? They have how many? A few tons of it? What's going on there in Syria?
Well, this is interesting, and it makes me wonder if this material is connected back to Iran in any way. Is some of the material theirs? Did they do it together? I don't know. But the International Atomic Energy Agency digs tons of nuclear material buried in a clandestine site in Syria. Al-Sharaa regime reverses its plan and now refuses to hand over the findings. No real surprise there. A former Al-Qaeda terrorist is now sitting on a treasure trove of nuclear material that can be weaponized. I guess the UN has excavated at a previously undisclosed site several tons of nuclear material from the days of the Bashar al-Assad rule. The agreed plan up front was for the International Atomic Energy Agency to go ahead and remove that material from Syria. But guess what? That's not going to happen anymore. So Syria is now holding that nuclear material and refuses to hand it over, saying it will remain under IAEA safeguards for peaceful civilian use. Does anybody believe that? I'm struggling with it. And I don't think this is good for anybody, especially with what's going on in Iran. And this guy is an ex-Al-Qaeda operative. I mean, George, how do you feel about this? Because I don't think leaving this material in Syrian custody, and they're claiming they're going to use it for peaceful civilian purposes.
Before I respond, new person in the chat that I don't think I ever seen. I don't know, DT Artez. What's up, DD Artez? Glad to see you here. Thank you. Is this material, is it nuclear material for a weapon, or is it nuclear material for like building?
It is fissionable in the material, so it could be used for a weapon, or it could be used.
So Iran's probably like
reactor.
Iran's got to be mad as hell right now, saying, "Wait a minute, how the fuck these mofo's get this stuff?" This is before when Bashir was running Syria, the bad person, and not give us any or share with us or tell us how they got it, which is thank God they didn't. But listen, Syria's under a new regime. They're working with Trump and the United States. I mean, from my understanding, I think he said he wants to use it for energy, like not for like weapons. I mean, they haven't fired any missiles or anything at any other countries, right? So if they want to build a nuclear, what do they call them, Lance? For
nuclear reactor?
Is that for electricity and stuff?
Yeah, nuclear power plant.
Power plant. Thank you. I'm sorry. If that's fine. I'm not against that. It all depends, but they'll have to just keep monitoring it. Why should they
it
just
makes
hand it
me
over?
uneasy only because Syria's past and that this guy has ties to Al Qaeda. I don't know.
Does it not make you uneasy that Kim Jong Un has nuclear weapons?
But he's already got the weapon.
Hmm.
He's
There you
already
go.
got the weapon.
Okay.
So, interestingly enough, no, I'm not that nervous of him because I actually believe that the dialogue that Donald Trump and he have is actually a reasonably decent dialogue considering the history between the two countries. And I honestly believe, I've always said that, I think we could have a better relationship with North Korea and with Russia. I don't think China's solvable, but I think both of those, if they would get their foot off of Donald Trump's neck, I think we could have a great relationship with Russia. We would move it to a different area. And I just don't think I've said it in the beginning. I'll say it again. I don't agree with siding with Ukraine. I think Ukraine is full of nothing but lying scumbags. I think they're in the middle of trafficking. I think that there's been money laundering going with our own government and many people within our government, including the Bidens. Zelensky's a piece of shit. He's an installed puppet. I think the CIA's had a deep hand in Ukraine. I wouldn't be supporting Ukraine whatsoever in that war. And I've said it before. I think that if Donald Trump could, not have to have everybody constantly accusing him of Russia, I think we could move to a whole different level with North Korea and with Russia if given the opportunity to do so. I don't think it's possible with China, but can you imagine if you could get a relationship where you could take the issues with North Korea and the issues with Russia off the table? And imagine the power of an alignment with Russia moving forward. Imagine the power of that. That would leave only the Chinese out there flying solo. I don't think it would be great for them. But again, that's what I think. Do I think that it's a perfect solution? No. Do I think it'll ever happen in our lifetime? Probably not. Because listen, the military-industrial complex and many people in D.C. don't want peace. There's no money to be made in peace. All the money's made in war. All right.
Wait, hold on before you go. TSM Money. Did you know our George was in Dearborn yesterday? I guess they have a child named George. Great name, by the way. Was in Dearborn yesterday. I don't know. Did any of you guys see some of the stuff in Dearborn? I seen the peaceful protesters from our side there. But then you seen people from the left, agitators, some Antifa. I thought the left didn't like guns, but they were wearing AR-15s and vests and stuff. One of them actually pointed their AR at one of the peaceful protesters, and this leftist got arrested. But yeah, I didn't hear. I mean, any big craziness, which is good because we don't need that. Especially anybody coming down on the right. Who the hell's calling me? Voicemail. Never mind. From Florida, Dade City, Florida. I got a call. Unknown number. Oh well. But TSM Money. If you got any good clips from your son, email it to us. info@thebigmig.com or gb@thebigmig.com. Don't be like Ultra Mag Girl 45 and say you're gonna email and not email me. Just saying. That was a dig. But yeah, if you got any clips, send it to us. We'll put it up. We appreciate it.
All right. Let's talk about Iran. I've said it once. I've said it more than once. I've said it many times. You can't negotiate with Iran.
We're not negotiating anymore.
It's not possible to make a deal. The only thing you can do with them is crush them like an insect. Nobody has to agree with me, but that's my opinion. I don't think you're ever going to get a peaceful solution with them. Because now, of course, Iran pouting like a little child because they can't get what they want, which is they want reparations, and they want to be able to do their nuclear program, and they want to be able to do this and that. And they want us to not be involved in, anything to do with Palestine, or anything to do with Israel. Iran is weighing attacking U.S. military targets in Europe if Trump escalates the war, with forces assessing strikes on many of our assets in the southeastern region, like Bulgaria as an example. They're going to hit these U.S. assets in southeastern Europe. So This is where we refuel our aircraft, as you guys probably know. So you tell me, do you think we can negotiate with Iran? I don't think so. UAE just halted all trade and financial transactions with Iran. When is this administration going to strike all the road infrastructure? Because my understanding now is that they keep talking about how the Strait of Hormuz and they've stopped all freight traffic to Iran that would be, support war items, but they're going overland. People I know in the intelligence community are telling me that they're driving in the materials from, China, Russia, and other countries that are supporting them. When are we going to hit the roads and the bridges? When are we going to hit the Bitcoin mining? When are we going to hit the power plants? I sound like a broken record because I am. This administration continues to kind of 1 foot in the water and 1 foot out. And I think we just got to take the plunge. It's time for a cannonball into the deep end of the pool.
I mean, we're not negotiating no more with Iran. I think Trump's at a point.
We never were.
Wow. Really? Yeah, you're right.
We never were.
Trump is saying either they sign whatever or he doesn't want to talk to them. But so what? We're just going to everybody sit stagnant now and wait for someone to fire something?
Yeah.
Okay.
That appears to be the case.
Mark my words. Probably end of September or October, right when the midterms are going to be, when all the ads and stuff, they're going to gear up. Iran, watch.
Do we have time to wait? I mean, that's months away, right?
You could say, I would say like at least a month away from them
No, but
starting
do you
doing
think
it.
we have the luxury of time on our side for this? The conflict
I mean, we have the luxury of time, but should we? No.
I mean, how many targets could they strike in Europe during that time period? Hundreds, thousands?
You know what, Lance? It all depends how many missiles they got left that can go that far. Do we really know what they have, what their capabilities are right now?
Who knows? We know their capability of restocking. We don't know how much they're restocking. I mean, but we continue to allow them to mine Bitcoin. I checked on it the other day. They're continuing to mine Bitcoin. 3 to 5% of the world's hash rate. Isn't that money just available to buy whatever they want? Millions and millions.
But how are they going to get it in? They can't.
They're bringing it overland. They're using the roads.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, they are.
You don't think any big shipping trucks they're going to target or look at them?
I mean, you don't necessarily need giant shipping trucks if you can bring it in pieces. And that overland freight has been going on for centuries in that area.
Who knows?
Pretty hard to monitor all of it. I don't know. I don't like it. I think you can just stop it dead. Start hitting all the last of the infrastructure. Do everything you've got to do. Go all in. I guarantee you hit the Bitcoin mining. Between the oil and the Bitcoin mining being gone, it would be pretty tricky. And then, like you've said all along, seize Carg Island. Take it over. Just man up, shut off Carg Island completely.
Last when we were talking about Carg Island, they said it was almost full. Well, if they're not shipping out any oil, what the hell's going on then? Something's going on.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And look, now we've got Iranians with a massive cyber theft campaign. And of course, on behalf of who? The IRGC. They stole 31 terabytes of academic data and intellectual property. Tell me about this, George.
Well, 17 Iranians were charged with this massive cyber theft campaign. This is all behalf on the IRGC. And like we say, that's a problem. You could be trying to make a deal or something with the Iranian president or foreign minister, yet the IRGC is doing something totally different, which is why don't we just bond the shit out of the IRGC and eliminate them? Or we should have done that. 31 terabytes of data and intellectual property. What about all this other stuff they did? Like you have the North Korean hacking group. We haven't heard much about them, by the way, lately. Lance, you notice that?
Yeah.
Any big things coming from them. But I was watching this morning how vulnerable the United States is to if our electric grid went down. It's like the security on our electric grid. And they're talking about transformers.
We talked about that on the show, that the Chinese transformers. Yeah. Well, we're talking about the major transformers. We're not talking about small ones. We're talking about the biggest transformers in the United States, that there are so many of them that were manufactured in China. And people are saying, and we've talked about this on our show a couple of times now, that they all have back doors built into them. And that the Chinese could literally access those hardware backdoors. So here's the problem. It's not just software. It's a hardware backdoor that can't necessarily be removed unless you disassemble the transformer. And you can't be sure you're going to get all of the backdoors that are built into it. And that's the problem when you buy overseas and you let manufacturing become so prohibitively expensive here that people can't afford to do it and they move it out of the country, or they go to other countries to solve this, and because of money. Now, what's interesting about this case, George, this has been going on since 2013 on this cybercrime ring. Don't you think it's odd that it took them that long?
It all depends. If you're good hackers, and look how many hackers they don't know who they are get away with stuff. It all depends. But if they're monitoring, all of a sudden they're monitoring all the traffic coming out of Iran and stuff because of the war, then yeah, they'll probably be able to get them like that.
Did they get any of these people arrested? I don't see anything about arrests. I see defendants charged. Are these people even here in the United States?
Don't know.
I mean, fantastic they've got indictments, but did they arrest anybody? I don't see anything about arrests in this story.
Yeah, I think they're all out of the country.
Wow. Well, I never get those guys.
I know. But at least they can shut them down, hopefully. And they know who they are, so.
Yeah.
But it's, all of it was going through that institute, so it is what it is. I don't know.
Well, let's switch it up.
I want to know if this motherfucker's singing.
Fauci.
Yep. Okay, you do it. I got to do something.
So advisor David Morans just pled guilty to conspiracy to defraud the United States by hiding COVID origin records and evading FOIAs. Shocker. You mean they lied about the COVID origins? No. Say it isn't so. I can't believe that they would lie about that. And this guy was a direct advisor, Fauci. So he was a senior advisor at the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Disease. Of course, he just pled guilty on Tuesday to one count of conspiracy to commit offenses and to defraud the United States. How about so many counts across the American people where you lied to all of us and you had us suspended and attacked? George and I included in that. Many other people on social media, many people that watched the show got suspended. Of course, this was a scheme. This is what he was charged for, to evade freedom of information requests during the COVID-19 pandemic. So he and his co-conspirators used his personal Gmail account to hide communications about restoring NIH funding to EcoHealth Alliance's controversial BAT coronavirus grant. I still don't understand why we're doing this. Until we weaponized the coronavirus, it never crossed over. So it tells you that they had intent. The same grant that was tied to the Wuhan Institute of Virology. No, you mean it was the China virus? No, that can't be possible. And of course, that was terminated over the lab leak concerns. So he dismissed, Morin's co-authored those documents that dismissed the lab leak theory as thoroughly discredited. But yet he confirmed that it might be very well authentic in his own personal Gmail account, not using his government email to try to hide it. He's facing up to 5 years in prison for conspiracy to commit offenses and to defraud the United States. Of course, they'll probably give him less, knowing what's going on there. How guilty does this make Fauci? Probably very guilty. Are we ever going to overturn the auto pen pardons? Probably not. Fauci will get a pass. He's lucky I'm not president. Fauci would die. He would probably have a hit from that CIA gun that causes heart attacks. I wouldn't let him keep sucking up oxygen, but that's just me. White Coast Wade exposed a lot. They talked about a lot of the NIH's gain of function funding in Wuhan. Of course, Beaglegate, the horrendous crimes committed against animals. They said Morans wasn't acting alone, that there were many others involved. Interesting. I wonder how many of these co-conspirators are going to plead guilty, or have they even been arrested? I'm not familiar with anybody besides Morans being arrested. It doesn't mean they haven't been. I just aren't familiar with it. George, what do you think? More proof of Fauci, and the lab leak theory. Of course, now it looks like, well, it was true.
Well, we all know that, but there's a sealed supplement with him, and typically, I think they say a sealed supplement details any cooperation agreement by the defendant.
5K1.
In this case, warns against any co-conspirators or no cooperation agreement exists. It's
Probably
sealed, so
he's probably going to get a downward departure on his sentence to cooperate.
Yeah, I mean,
of course, it doesn't help if he cooperates against Fauci because Fauci has a blanket.
Doesn't matter. There's other people involved. Sealed means it's not available to the public, only to the defendant, judge, and the government. But the FBI investigation, it still remains ongoing.
Yeah.
So it says in the thing that FBI uncovered that David Moran's co-conspirator 1, co-conspirator 2, and others conspired during the COVID-19 pandemic. So you have co-conspirator 2 and others. Is he singing on 2 and others? There you go. I guess time will tell. But here you go. Here's enough evidence for state AGs to go after Fauci. Right?
Yeah. More evidence for the states. And I know if I was Florida, I'd be wanting to interview Morans immediately and get as much information from him as possible when it came to Fauci. And of course, document Fauci's knowledge of all of that. All right, let's talk about the Democrat Socialists of America, the DSA. They want to overthrow the U.S. Constitution. That in itself is a crime, by the way. It's the supreme law of the land. They come right out and say, the thing we're famous for is our hatred of the United States Constitution. The program gives us a roadmap to revolution, the obstacle that we finally will have to get over to have a revolution, which is the U.S. Constitution. Wow. Anybody that would vote for anybody that has DSA theories, or even the Democrats at this point, you've got to be pretty fucking stupid. You want to play the clip, George?
Sure.
Stands in the way of their planned revolution as these resurfaced comments give Republicans a new midterm attack line.
The two things that we're famous for is our commitment to a program and our hatred of the United States Constitution. And what the program does is it gives us a roadmap to revolution, and it gives us the obstacle that we finally will have to get over to have a revolution, which is the United States Constitution, the basis of the United States government.
All right. So with that, here now, Washington.
You know, alleging you want to overthrow the U.S. government, I would think that's enough when you vocalize that and verbalize it publicly. I would think that's enough for the rest. The DSA and the Democrats, even any of them thinking that any of this is a good idea, talking about the U.S. Constitution. Of course, it's the only thing that's probably protecting us from the government doing much more awful things to all of us. But yeah, if they don't like it here, I say take away their citizenship, throw them the F out of the country. Just go in, snatch them up, take their passport, remove their citizen identity, and then just put them on a one-way ticket to the Middle East or Northern Africa or somewhere they want it. They can pick they can choose, and that's it. They're out of here. All right. We've told you about this. Lots of pig butchering, lots of, crypto Ponzi schemes. 165 million crypto Ponzi scheme mastermind arrested, living in a luxury Fiji mansion. Authorities say he's finally behind bars on U.S. soil. Of course, part of this was all, Cash Patel going to Asia over all these pig butchering crypto scammers. Prosecutors claim he scammed more than 6,000 people worldwide with promises of 25% plus returns through a fake crypto advertising program. FBI agents flew across the world to bring him back. The race is on to recover the money for the victims. They're tracking it now. It looks like they're going to get a lot of it back. So if you've been scammed by a cryptocurrency scam, pig butchering or otherwise, it's important for you to get with the FBI and let them know what happened. Let's play the clip, George.
Sure.
$165 million Ponzi scheme involving cryptocurrency is back in the U.S. tonight. The suspect was living in a luxury home in Fiji while tricking thousands of people around the world. Correspondent David Spunt has details tonight. Interesting story, David.
Brett, good evening. It really is an interesting story. And tonight, after spending years on the run, fleeing to spots across the globe, authorities say that this alleged Ponzi scheme mastermind is behind bars on American soil. The race to get money back to investors is on. Edward Zimbardi faces charges in Georgia for operating the more than $165 million scheme. Court papers allege it happened between 2022 and 2023 and was called the crypto program. Prosecutors, Brett, say that Zimbardi would make promotional videos and websites and told investors to invest in advertising packages, promising a 25% return. Now, victims moved cryptocurrency into wallets secretly controlled by Zimbardi, according to investigators who say he used that cash to pay for cars, a home, and to enrich himself in other ways.
These people who engage in this predatory behavior truly are disgusting, truly are leeches and vultures and mosquitoes and ticks taking the blood from people who are doing nothing more than trying to get by and provide for their own families.
And to catch Zimbardi, FBI agents you see here had to fly to the other side of the world to pick him up in Fiji, where he was living. Now, to escape justice in the United States. Now, FBI agents took Zimbardi into custody there, flew him to Los Angeles, where he was formally arrested immediately upon arrival. Now, prosecutors say Zimbardi scammed more than 6,000 people across the globe. If you might be one of them, you can contact the FBI. The Justice Department is looking into ways to make sure that he pays restitution to his more than 6,000 victims across the globe. Brett.
Okay, David, thank you.
Thanks.
Lance, you heard that, right?
I did.
They're going to pay restitution to those more than 6,000 victims. I believe you and I were victims.
Yep, no doubt.
We need to put in a case. Can we do that?
You sure can.
All right. I want to do it. All right. I'm going to show this clip. I just got it. But listen to what this white liberal woman is saying and ask yourselves, how the F did we get here? I mean, just listen. I don't want to spoil it. These liberals are dumb. Really dumb. Sorry, but you ladies and men liberal, you're dumb.
They are.
Yeah. Even if they're a radical Islamist.
Yes. There's no right to judge them.
Absolutely.
Because we have freedom of religion. We should be able to believe in whoever we want to believe in.
Exactly.
We do.
Who do you have more in common with, would you say? A Trump supporter or a radical Islamist?
I don't even know if it's between the two of them.
Well, just between the two, who do you think you would have more in common with?
Probably a radical Islam. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm not hatred. I don't believe they don't push hatred on. They believe in their God, you know. I don't believe that everybody hates. I just can't. There's a lot of hatred. He's causing a lot of hatred in this world.
Okay.
I do believe that.
You would say that Trump supporters are more hateful than radical Islamists?
It's not even Democrat and Republican anymore. It's Democrat and MAGA. The Republicans became MAGA. It's like drink the Kool-Aid, be MAGA, and it shouldn't be MAGA. You know, they wear hats and T-shirts. If you're going to go to an event, enjoy it. Just be yourself. Don't advertise hatred, and that's what MAGA does.
Yeah, and well, that's a good point. I'm glad you brought that up. If you saw someone wearing one of those red hats, chanting "Make America Great Again," or you saw someone shouting "Allahu Akbar" running down the breezeway here, who would you feel more safe with?
The one shouting Allahu Akbar. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the MAGA. Honestly, I'm afraid to go past trucks anymore because they all have bumper stickers on their cars, MAGA, you know, all this. And I'm also afraid, like years ago when we passed somebody on the highway, you give them the finger or just, you know, now you're afraid they're going to.
White liberal women like this are the most dangerous threat to America. And I think everyone understands that. Look at the comments. The stupidity on the left is off the charts. I don't think she understands what a radical Islamist is. The ignorance is frightening. I mean...
So she's saying the Republican Party is the MAGA party. Well, the fucking Democrat Party is the Socialist Communist Party. Now what? Let me see. Democrat, Socialist Communist Party, or Free Party?
I think that woman needs a one-way ticket to a Muslim extremist location. Let her take the clothes that she normally wears. We'll just stick her in that country and she, won't cover her hair or anything. Let's see how long she makes it walking down the street dressed like she is right now. I don't think she understands radical Islam. I don't think she understands their treatment of children, women, animals. I don't think she gets it. I don't think she even understands what Sharia law is. But that's the ignorance, right? It's the ignorance of somebody coming out publicly, and then that's what their version of the world is without really having done their research. Oh, I'm afraid to drive by a truck because they've got the bumper stickers. And I don't know when anybody's ever been assaulted by somebody that has a MAGA bumper sticker driving past them. I don't think that's happened historically, but I can tell you there are millions of stories of radical Islamists doing horrendous things to women, children, dogs, you name it. So I don't understand. But that's the ignorance of the left, the extreme far, far left. I've said it many times, just like the far, far right. You're never going to make any sense with those people. It just doesn't happen.
It never does. They're just fucking cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah.
Really?
Absolutely.
I mean, you know what? We should show her what happened to the other white liberal girl that went with the Islamic from here and went, where was it, Ireland? And she ended up, he killed her. Maybe we should send her with that guy.
I think if she spent any time in a radical Islam community,
I mean,
if her views would change rapidly. After the first time she got beaten on the street for not having her hair covered and her face covered, the first time she was, refused service at many locations, maybe the first time she walked down the street and saw one of the women of an Islam marriage being stoned to death or beaten on the streets by her husband, or maybe if she saw their treatment of dogs, maybe that's maybe what she needs is a wake up call. I think what I would do with her is I'd say, sure, come down to my office. I want to show you some videos of the radical Islamists people.
How come she hasn't converted to Islam if she loves it so much?
Good point.
Put your full burqa on and go with it.
Get married to a radical Islamic person, and get ready for some of the ass beatings you're going to get.
Yeah,
because I don't think she'd be able to hold her tongue. I think the first time she was told, "You don't eat with us." By the way, when you bring in the food, I think the first time
you leave the house, no, stay home.
Yeah. First time she tried to run out and see her girlfriends, and she got a couple of beatings. I don't think she'd be thinking the same way. But that's the point, right? They got a MAGA. First of all, it's Make America Great Again. Who and either side of the aisle doesn't want a great America? You got to be an idiot. I mean, I know that people like it's a MAGA. To me, Making America Great Again is a tagline. It's not a person.
Yep.
And of course, I want America to be great. So, all right, listen. Tomorrow we've got Dr. Mary Talley Bowden joining us. Mary Talley Bowden. She'll be joining us. We'll be talking about a lot of hot topics here in the medical world. You're not going to want to miss it. So, of course, you'll find her here at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard on The Big Mig Show. We'll be dropping some truth bombs. If you don't know her, you should be following her on social media. And don't forget to follow us on social media. We're on every platform, G. Ballantine or George Ballantine. Sometimes they give him the extra letter. Lance Miliaccio, The Big Mig Show. And The Drill, please follow us on YouTube and Locals, even if you don't watch us there, if you're on Locals or YouTube. We need the support. We need you to get as many people following us as possible because that's how we grow the show. Of course, every major podcast platform still supports The Big Mig Show. So get over there, give us a follow, share the content, do what you can to help us get the word out because, of course, educating and unifying the country one episode at a time. George B., my brother, last words on the way out of the door.
I love you guys. Have a blessed day. Enjoy the hump day. Stay safe. See you guys tomorrow. Peace.
What if you could predict your financial future? And what if you could trade on it? Introducing Block Trust IRA, the future in your hands. An astonishing 88,000 millionaires were created last year from the Bitcoin boom, and you could be next. Block Trust IRA is the only crypto management firm powered by AI-driven strategies, ranked #1 in the world by Bitcoin Magazine. The Block Trust IRA platform is built for everyone, from first-time buyers to seasoned investors. Predictive AI technology that was once only reserved for insiders and elites is now available to you. It's time to leave the old buy and hold strategies behind. your assets are protected with military-grade security, offline cold storage, and $200 million in insurance. Visit BlockTrustIRA.com to book your free consultation and ask how to claim up to $2,500 in deposit bonuses today. Bitcoin changed the game. AI changes the strategy.
In a world of uncertainty, be prepared with Silver Prepper Bars, your ultimate hedge against political instability and economic turmoil. Introducing the Silver Prepper Bar, crafted from 0.999 pure silver and proudly made in the USA. This tangible, divisible asset can come in handy even in the toughest of times. Portable, perforated, and easily tradable, the Silver Prepper Bar is your lifeline in times of crisis. When facing inflation, currency devaluation, and financial meltdown, Silver Prepper Bars provide peace of mind. Don't wait for disaster to strike. Secure your future today with the exclusive Silver Prepper Bar, the only silver bar on the market divisible into 3 different size pieces for maximum utility, all while fitting in your wallet. Don't leave your future to chance. Order your Silver Prepper Bars now at prepperbar.com. Silver Prepper Bars, ready for whatever tomorrow brings. Order now.
Forged through rigorous training and honed by the finest instructors on Earth, these K9 units serve beside our nation's warriors as they fight to preserve what we cherish. When these warriors complete their duty, the Warrior Dog Foundation provides them with a home deserving of the service they've given us all. At our state-of-the-art kennels, they receive rehabilitation and care suitable for heroes, because that's what they are. Be a part of giving them a future today. Visit warriordogfoundation.org.